Hey there, welcome back to another video, and if you're watching this as part of the appendix section in the teardown inspection video for this particular transmission, I guess, welcome again. I wanted to film this particular video because I wasn't happy with the way I treated the valve body section on teardown. This is a 1993 unit. It's out of a 93 Chevy Suburban 2500 HD, 3/4 ton, and of course we're dealing with a 4L80E here. So when you're working with a 91 through to 93 4L80E transmission, there are certain things that you're going to need to be mindful of when it comes to the valve body, the spacer plate, and electronic pressure control solenoid. All right, and the reason for that is 91 through 93 used a slightly different configuration and design with respect to all three of those components. And this is due to the fact that there was a different electronic pressure control strategy built into or designed into the command and control framework for these transmissions that changed in 94 and up. So for starters, let's take a look at what we have on the bench. This is everything that we would need to fully assemble this valve body. We have the valve body casting itself, and that's hiding under here beneath the gaskets. The two gaskets, one for the valve body to the spacer plate, the other for the valve body assembly to the case. And then we have the spacer plate that came out of this unit that's associated with this valve body, and it's a 1993. And then for comparison, I have a 2000 spacer plate from a 4L80E core that I tore down, I don't know, I think about 6 months ago or so. And then we also have all of our new electrical components, including the updated electronic pressure control solenoid that we'll talk about, and why updating to this newer design solenoid is important in context of what you have to do to adapt your 91 through 93 valve body and spacer plate to accept this updated solenoid. So if you guys been around 4L80Es and you've kind of been there and done that, this is not going to be anything you don't already know. But for those of you that are thinking of building a 4L80E for the first time, or maybe you've built maybe a few of them, I don't know, but you've never worked on one of these really early transmissions, this video may be of interest to you and may help you along in this particular part of the build. So first off, let's talk about what's different. So starting with the valve body. These valve bodies, 91 and 92 and 93, are designed to accept what we call the silver can style vented electronic pressure control solenoid that was manufactured by Bosch at the time. And that solenoid went hand in hand with a spacer plate that was designed to accept it, or designed for it, as well as an accumulator housing that utilized something called a torque signal compensator valve. So these early units had a different design accumulator housing. Of course, you have your 2.3 and 3/4 accumulator pistons here, just like any other 4L80E housing. However, you also have a third stack, and this is for your torque signal compensator valve and spring. And this is part of the EPC functional strategy, if you will. It's technically part of a cleaning cycle that's executed by the PCM to facilitate, I guess, clean and consistent operation of the solenoid to ensure that line pressure is appropriately managed at all times inside the transmission. So with that said, the valve body itself in the area of the electronic pressure control solenoid is not vented. So in other words, if we take a look at the instructions that Transgo provides on their website for their SK4L80E shift kit, they give you a quick comparison here, an image of each of the types of valve bodies that I'm referring to in the area of the electronic pressure control solenoid. And the 91, 92, and 93, at least some of them, including this one, are non-vented. So if you look in this area, which I'll show you a second in the valve body itself, you'll see that this area is fully casted over. There is no vents of any kind, no ports, no exhaust, nothing. When you move to a, well, they're saying a 93 and up, but in reality it's 94 and up to be 100% certain. This entire cavity is vented through and through, as you can see. Let me try to zoom in. Alright, so hopefully you can see that. I mean, this little viewfinder, it's hard to tell, but the point is that you want to make sure that you have this in mind, you know, this entire I guess, you know, difference and adaptation process that I'm going to cover, which is very simple, by the way, when you're working on these earlier 4LEDE transmissions. So let's take a look at the valve body real quick, and then we'll go to the spacer plates. So I've already modified this one, but here is our silver can EPC. This is of the vented variety. Okay, it's made by Bosch. And let's see if Bosch has its name on it. No, they don't, but you know, here you can see, you know, Bosch, Germany. And when we look on the other side of the casting, in this area right here that I've highlighted in blue, before I drilled that hole, which is 125 thousandths, there was nothing there. I mean, it was all the way sealed through and through, other than the cavity, of course. So the exhaust, or EPC vent relief, if you will, is actually designed into the solenoid itself. So we'll take it out real quick and I'll show you if you haven't seen one of these before. And they're not all that common because, frankly, relative to all other years, 91 through 93 is not all that common. They're not all that common when it comes to 4LEDEs. Alright, so we can zoom in. Alright, so you have a screen here that indicates it's a vented design. So the updated electronic pressure control solenoid, which is just in this bag, is sealed. It's not vented. I got bag inside a bag here. Make doubly sure that nothing can get to this thing while it's in storage in the warehouse or whatever. But as you can see, it's completely sealed. So when you're moving from a vented design to a sealed design, when it comes to the EPC, but you're working on one of these earlier units, you're going to have to adapt the valve body to accept it. And that's done by simply drilling a single 125 thousandths hole in this cavity here where there was previously nothing. And that's really it. That's all you have to do. So you can now run your updated electronic pressure control solenoid, and it will have plenty of exhaust passageway, or relief if you will, so that fluid doesn't pile up in there and force the solenoid itself possibly out of the valve body casting. And in a conversation with Transgo, just to make sure I double check my understanding of all of this, Rusty had let me know that one of the reasons they have you do this is to prevent the EPC from literally flying out of the valve body casting at that location. So you know, when you're using an updated sealed solenoid on one of these early transmissions. So that is basically it as far as what you need to do. Now, to identify one of these earlier separator plates and distinguish them from a later plate in the event you either get a transmission in somebody worked on but they put the wrong plate on, or you know, you're scrounging for parts because you know, either the valve body's bad or the plate is bad or something. You want to make sure you have an appropriate match, because there's nothing you need to do to the separator plate itself for these early units in terms of adaptation beyond what you did with the valve body, and that's drilling a little hole. So all we're going to do is just compare the two in the area of interest, which is in this kind of lower left corner here. And you can see, or hopefully you can see, I'm going to try to get the glare minimized. We have an EPC balance hole here, but there is no balance hole here. Okay, this hole also exists, and Transgo actually has you drill out this hole to 3/16 on all model years if you're running their shift kit. But you also notice that you have an identification indicator with these 4 little triangular notches machined out of the plate on this earlier valve body's spacer plate, but not on the later plate. Alright, as far as your feed hole sizes, this is a big block build, so you know, factory big block, low stall converter, factory low stall, and that's what this means. 93 4LEDE LS means low stall, not it's fitted with an LS engine. this means high stall. There are two different variants, a low stall and a high stall, produced by the factory based on whether the 80 was made into a small block or a big block. All right, so that's the spacer plate. So you just want to make sure that whatever gasket set you're using, there is a corresponding hole or orifice in the gaskets themselves. Both of them have to have a hole here, and then if you're running a 93 unit, you want to make sure that there is a hole in the spacer plate assembly, or I should say spacer plate to case gasket, valve body assembly to case. There is a hole here and a hole here for your balance hole and this little hole. So just like that. If there's not, then you'll want to make a hole. Alright, so I'm not going to film the assembly of this valve body. I mean, I already have a valve body assembly video. The only material difference, if you even want to call it that, is the presence of the torque signal compensator valve and a corresponding very long bolt that goes right here, goes through that portion of the housing. I mean, that's common sense. So the purpose of this video was really twofold. One, to kind of get into this topic a little bit, because I just looked around hastily on Google and YouTube. I didn't see anything that really covers this. This aspect of these 91 through 93 480Es. And then secondly, I also wanted to make mention and kind of show you that this is true for 1993 model year units, whereas it was my understanding, as I haven't done a 93 in forever, it is my understanding, or was previously, that the Bosch EPCs that were vented were only applicable to the 91, 92 model years. So again, if you're watching this as part of the addendum of the teardown inspection video, and you're maybe wondering why I was fumbling over my words, I kind of had an awkward, disjointed presentation or delivery when I was discussing the valve body and the changes for these years during that teardown when I was taking it off of the case. That's why. When I saw the year and it said 93, I was, that was like a curveball that got thrown at me, and I wasn't sure exactly how to hit it. So I fumbled my way through it the best I could, and at the same time I tried to give you some additional information, including, putting a screenshot of the Transgo instructions there on the screen so that you saw what was going on, or at least had a better grasp of what I was trying to communicate. Alright, that'll about do it. So again, just a quick video. It's short enough to go on the back of that other video, and then, like I said, if you're watching this as the standalone version and you want to see the full carnage, because that transmission was in really, really rough shape, check out that teardown video, you'll see all of the hard parts that we had to replace, and that's pretty interesting. Alright, well, that about does it for this one. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave below. If there's anything else I didn't cover about this particular aspect of these transmissions, 91 through 93 480Es, please note that in the comments as well. And if there's enough input from everybody, I'll go ahead and make a part 2 of this so that we cover everything we need to cover. The only other thing I'll comment on is the valve body itself. For the most part, is very healthy. Passed its vacuum checks with flying colors, which is unusual given the amount of problems we saw in the main case, but stranger things have happened. So that's transmissions. You never know what you're gonna find and what's gonna come across your bench until it does. And that's one of the most interesting and rewarding aspects of doing this job, is that even though the transmissions are largely the same, you kind of see something different nearly every unit you do, and you learn something new on almost every transmission you build. So, alright, well, thanks again. Appreciate you spending your time on my channel, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.